Hello my dear students, welcome to the MS Science Academy. Myself Minu Srivastav, and today we are going to discuss about the methods of prevention of contamination. As we have discussed previously in the previous lecture, in the last lecture, that is the sources of contamination we have discussed. So just in this lecture we have discussed, we will discuss about that the reverse of the sources of contamination. Okay, so how we can prevent the contamination if we are doing this reverse process of the sources of contamination. It's the prevention. It makes the prevention of prevention method for contamination. Okay, so as we have discussed that there are the many sources like atmospheric, like design, like untrained persons, like premises. There are so many sources which gives the contamination or which put the contamination in our product or in our manufacturing batches. Okay, so if we want to control the contamination, we have to control the sources of contamination, obviously. Okay, so aseptic area contaminated by various sources, okay, like atmospheric sources, like filtration, like air, and they are like raw material, and there are so many sources. Okay, so following measures can be taken to prevent the contamination due to different sources. So what measures we have to take? Just we will discuss one by one. Okay, first measurement, that is the prevention from atmospheric contamination. Okay, here the contamination is the atmospheric contamination is just like the air, the surrounding air which produce the contamination or which is having the dust particles, germs which produce the contamination in our product. Okay, so if we want to control the contamination, surrounding contamination or atmospheric contamination, we have to prevent the air contamination preferably. Okay, so before entering the air should be passed initially through the suitable filter. First the air should be passed through the suitable filter, then air passed to the electrostatic precipitator. From when the air is passed through the electrostatic precipitators, the dust particle, the microbes, the germs will precipitate in that electrostatic precipitator and air will become clean. Okay, so here now after just coming out from the electrostatic precipitator, the air goes towards the HEPA filter. Okay, then finally it will just move towards the HEPA filter. And this is the main thing, that timely HEPA filter cleaning is also essential. Okay, so it's at this point also we have to include that timely HEPA filter cleaning is also essential. HEPA filter cleaning is also essential, है ना? Also essential, है ना? यहाँ पे मैंने here I have just included this point, essential. Okay, so here the air first is air is passed to the filter, then electrostatic precipitators, then it goes towards the HEPA filter. These process we have to manage, okay, to remove the atmospheric contamination. Now the second point is the prevention from fluid, prevention from fluid and the liquid contamination. There are so many liquids or solvents and waters are used in the preparation. Okay, so for that we have to just clean or the just disinfect it. For that disinfection process we have to perform for such kind of the liquid, such kind of the solvent, such kind of the water. Okay, so for example, if we are using the water for injection, in water for injection preparation, the water is purified by deionization. Firstly, the water is purified by deionization process, then distillation. We can the water can be sterilized by the deionization process. Second is the maybe the distillation process, the ion exchange process, the reverse osmosis process, the filtration process as well. Okay, there are so many processes like ion exchange, like reverse osmosis, like that filtration and distillation, and there are so many processes by which we can by which we can remove the contamination from our fluid, from our water, from our solvent. Okay, now the third point is that prevention from personal contamination. As we have noticed that the personal contamination is due to the unskilled, untrained persons. Okay, so for that we have to allow only that skilled and well-trained person. Skilled and well-trained person only allowed. Okay, and the person should be completely cover his or her body, like just wear a gown, mask, goggle, and just see the goggle spelling, maybe it's a Google spelling, so you will just search the goggle spelling, okay, that glasses that person have to wear, okay, and cover the foot, glasses, ensure the complete coverage for all skin areas, okay. And main thing is that the unskilled, untrained person, unauthorized unskilled person is not at all allowed, okay, and the unauthorized personnel restricted if in that particular the production area, unskilled person not at all allowed, okay. Now fourth is that prevention from raw material. Here the C represent for contamination, okay. As we have noticed that the raw material is also producing the contamination, okay. For that we have to use the we have to decontaminate or sterilize the raw material before using, okay. So here first thing is that the raw material firstly properly stored, okay. As we have noticed that the raw material, if it is having that humidity sensitiveness or that temperature sensitiveness, so we have to be keep far away from moisture, from light, from heat, okay, whatever sensitivity that raw material is having, okay. So we have to be stored very much properly, okay, and so storage, the properly storage is very much essential. Now before using the raw material, when we are using the raw material, we have to not at all having just take as such, okay, just we have to, before using the raw material, we have to perform the heat treatment, the filtration, the recrystallization and irradiation, and any other sterilization which is suitable for the raw material we have to perform before using that raw material for the main production, okay, to reduce the microbial load in the raw material, okay. So before using the raw material, we have to be very much cautious about that how much we are taking, and we have to reduce the microbial load from the raw material, okay. Now the fifth is that prevention from equipment. We have as we have noticed that the equipment are the main source, okay. If we are just doing the preparation in the container which is not properly sterilized, not properly cleaned, so it will produce the contamination, or it will damage our complete batch, okay. So that thing that we have to keep in our mind, that the equipment which are using for the production, that have to clean or sterilize very much cautiously or very much attentively, okay. Equipments are properly sterilized or disinfected by various means like autoclave, like heat treatment, like gases and chemical agents, okay. For that we have to include in this point also that equipments are properly cleaned and sterilized or disinfected, okay. Means whatever equipments we are using, that equipments we have to clean and sterilized or disinfected in very well manner, okay. Now the sixth is that the prevention from packaging contamination. CONTAMIN dot I have taken here, just I put it dot so that's a packaging contamination. The package in the pharmaceutical industries or in the any other aseptic preparations, we have to keep in our mind that the packaging is the most important aspect for that any kind of the preparation, okay. So we have to be very cautious during the packaging also, okay. So whatever container, whatever closer, whatever vials or whatever the ampoules in which we are just packing our preparation, that have to be very much efficient, that have to be efficiently cleaned, efficiently sterilized, efficiently disinfected, okay. Okay, packaging must be done in the highly sterilized manner. One thing is the whatever area we are doing the packaging, that area must be very much highly sterilized, okay. Dry heat at 170 degrees Celsius upon use for sterilization. Generally the vials and ampoules that just we are using, that we have to be sterilized by the dry heat at 170 degrees Celsius, or these vials and ampoules is used for the injectable and ophthalmic preparations, okay. So And the container caps and the closures are sterilized by moist heat like chemical, gaseous and radiation techniques. Okay. So we for packaging aspect also we have to be very much cautious. Okay. Now the seventh point, that is the prevention from building contamination. That what are the premises? What are the premises in we are doing just aseptic preparations, or we are doing the production, manufacturing, the packaging? That floor, that ceiling, that walls are smooth. Okay, that floor, ceiling should be smooth, easily washable and crack free. Okay, that things we have to be keep in a very much we have to be keep in our mind, that the floor, ceilings or that walls all are must crack free and easily washable and smooth also. Windows and doors have the air pack fitting. Okay, they permit only the light. These things we have to be keep in our mind. Okay, and periodically cleaning that aseptic area, that production area, that's manufacturing area and packaging area have to be cleaned periodically. Timely we have to be cleaned everything, so that all the just deposited materials may be deposited in that cracks, or some deposited materials, if there will be in that particular area, that will be removed, and so that we can reduce the contamination chances as less as possible. Okay, as high as possible, sorry. Okay, so here there are some prevention measurements we can take, so by which we can prevent the contamination in our product. Okay, I hope you have understood my lecture. Any doubt you can ask me in the comment section, otherwise please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.